Okay, why don't you listen on up? I'm going to sing a song about some heroes that, whether you know it or not, we all owe something to. Some time ago, the world was changed when two hobos made a claim to fame. They formed a league to call their own, the League of Extraordinary Murder Hobos. Are the bandits and scoundrels giving you grief? Are they taking your food so you've nothing to eat? Do you need some help taking back your land? Then send for them now and they'll give you a hand. There ain't a land they fear to roam, and there ain't a place that they call their home, but they can keep the monsters far away. So send for some murder hobos today. The murder hobos will have your back. When you send for them, they'll be there in a snap. Just yell out loud and don't be shy. Murder hobos assemble, you'll cry. Thanks. Thank you.
Last time on the League of Extraordinary Murder Hobos, the hobos were joined by a new teammate, Magnar the Dwarf Cleric, and were sent to the Thundering Highlands to investigate the murders of Magnar's old team. There they fought a grizzly bear and adopted its cub, defeated two guards that promptly dissolved into black goo, and found the rock formation the Frozen Tiger. What new mysteries await our habitually heroic hobos? Listen in and find out.
Do they all hit him simultaneously, or?
Yeah, I'll let them all hit at the same time.
Great.
They all just target, zero in on it, and just smash it. with
So the camera
force
follows
damage.
each magic missile as it weaves through the trees, and they find themselves right into the tip of his dick. His whole pants explode out the front. Blood, testicles, entrails, his whole intestines spill out of his guts onto the snow, and he dies. And they both turn into black, oily ooze and soak into the snow. They leave behind a little bit of gold.
I'm gonna retrieve my goblet.
I'm gonna retrieve that gold.
Yeah. So you add 10 gold total. You can split that up however you guys want.
Is there any other items?
Roll a investigation, please.
21. It is what I do, after all, as part of the investigation squad.
I'm just gonna give each of you 3 gold.
All right. So you rolled a 21 for investigation, and that leads you to the spot where you saw the two guards standing initially when they were just guarding. You go over there, and you find a boulder. It's about 3 feet high, foot or 2 feet wide, and it has like a rounded, smooth surface facing upwards. But right in the middle of that surface, there's a circular recess in the rock, and it has 4 little pegs sticking up out of it in a square pattern.
All right. Magnar,
Yeah.
do you still have that talisman?
Of course I do.
Can I take a look at it?
Sure. Hand him the talisman.
I'm going to go ahead and place it on the stone.
Great. So when you place it onto the stone, you put it down and you wiggle it around until the pegs line up, and it just drops into place onto the rock. And a small little spark of light flashes from the edges of the amulet, and you hear a little like snapping noise, little electrical pop as that happens. Then all of a sudden, you hear a thunderous voice coming from the stone, the frozen tiger. All it says is, "It has been spoken."
Who disturbs my slumber?
Can you dig it?
Chill.
I'm just a little dumbfounded. I'll be like, hello? Like, is it
Talking to
possessed
us?
or animated?
No. It doesn't seem to be moving at all, but the sound of that voice seems to be coming from the tiger, but it doesn't move when it happens. It's just a stone.
And then it's all gone?
And so the voice happens, and that's it.
All right, well, I think we should investigate inside the cave here.
What cave?
There's no cave.
That's all they had.
That's all there is right here. Interesting, right?
I'd like to look for maybe a second recess where maybe the other amulet might fit.
There doesn't seem to be anything else here. Why don't you roll a wisdom save real quick?
All of us or just him?
Whoever,
I remember.
what do you say?
There was 2 of these
Yeah, 2 of these what?
mountains.
Mountains?
I don't know what we're on.
Oh,
Yeah, we're on a mountain.
Yeah,
So
there was
there's
2 of
two
them.
paths.
We
Yeah.
took one path.
that's true.
Yeah.
8 for wisdom.
Okay.
You should take off that amulet and put the other one on.
We should probably repeat back the rest of the saying if one of us can remember it. But go ahead.
That is what you recall when you roll wisdom. You're like,
Oh.
what's the other half of that phrase?
And so it becomes real.
It's pretty close, but unacceptable. You want to roll?
Roll for history.
Yeah, roll a history save.
Oh, 20.
Cool. So you recall that you have that scroll in your pocket,
Yeah.
and you whip it out real fast, and you unroll it, and you see right there in plain common it says, "It has been spoken. It becomes real."
It becomes real.
The amulet then just falls off the rock that you placed it in, and a passage at the feet of the frozen tiger just appears magically. The rock just kind of opens, and there's a passage heading straight down, and there's a stairway going downward.
Ooh.
I'm gonna pick up that amulet that just fell to the ground.
Cool. As you go over there to pick it up, there's a glint of light catches your eye, and you see a large silver key that has 3 gems in it. One glowing ruby, and then 2 black gems, all of the same cut style.
I'm gonna grab that key
Yeah, please do. For fuck's sake, grab that key.
and I'm gonna chuck it off the cliff. No,
Oh, God damn it.
put it in my bag.
I'm going to melt it down and
Just pop those gems out of there.
use it as a fork for the rest of the game.
Nah, man, this is my new comb.
It's a dingle hopper.
Tie it to the bear.
And then I'm gonna go investigate the new opening, the cave, as it were.
Just to be sure, you grabbed the key, and did you also take the amulet back?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I
All
grabbed them both, put them in my satchel.
Good stoofs. Good stoofs. All right. So you're investigating the passageway at the base of the frozen tiger. So you look over there, and what you see, it's a 5 by 5 foot passage, right? It's not perfectly square, but it's about 5 by 5. And in the passage, it's a stone staircase that leads down. You can't really see the bottom of the staircase because it kind of goes down a gentle bend, but you can tell that there's a source of bright light at the bottom, and there's also a fragrant floral smell floating up out of the passageway.
Hey guys, I think we should check this out. And I'm gonna start my way down slowly into the stairway.
Is there a way to push this giant tiger statue over?
No, I think it probably weighs like 1,000 tons or something like that.
Oh, it's that big. Okay.
I'm gonna follow.
By giant statue,
Into
he
the
means
passage.
giant statue.
Yeah.
Oh.
The scale
Oh,
of
that
everything that I'm describing to you is huge. Okay, so as you descend the stone staircase, you feel the air get warmer. Feels like around 70 degrees. It's pretty comfy now.
Oh.
The passage closes behind you as once you all get low enough into the staircase that it wouldn't like crush your heads or anything like that. By the time you get to the bottom of the staircase, you hear birds chirping. And in front of you, there's a stone archway that's exquisitely carved to look like 2 trees that had grown together up at the top of the arch. And then centered above the trees is the 8-pointed sun symbol.
Looks like we're going the right way.
I
Cool.
want to do a perception check and see if there's anything unusual around or anything that looks dangerous, maybe.
This whole thing's usual so far.
No, but you know.
Do this every day.
Go ahead and roll. Yeah.
17.
17. As far as you can tell, there are no traps or anything that seems out. I mean, it's definitely out of the ordinary, but nothing that could harm you. And there's also like no levers or secret buttons or switches or anything of that sort here. The bear cub on your back starts to squirm because it hears the birds and it feels the warm air, and it's getting restless on your back. It's going as it wiggles around on your back.
Alright, I'm gonna scoop up the bear cub from the pack and hold it and be like, hold on, buddy. Once I know it's safe, I'll let you run around.
Shaking it like this too.
No.
How you silence baby things. Just shake them a little.
Just shake them until they stop crying.
As you get closer to the archway, you can see through it. Through the archway, you see a huge, expansive meadow that's lush and green. There are huge, great oak trees reaching up towards the sky. Across the meadow, there's a large house. It's 3 stories tall. It's got to be about 70 feet across, and the building, it's all out of stone, and it has a copper roof that has been turned green with patina over the years. And you can see a bunch of windows kind of just reflecting the sunlight in the distance. Right now, the sun is about 3 hands above the horizon.
I think we should check that house out, but I'm getting kind of hungry, so I'm going to take a second and grab a bite to eat.
Yeah.
Probably not a bad idea.
If you're going to take a rest, this would be the time to do it.
Yeah, let's take a rest.
Okay. So you guys are still inside, out. You haven't crossed through the archway into the meadow yet, and you just finished your rest. So you're all recharged and ready to go. The sun hasn't moved the whole time you've been here. It's just hanging right there, 3 hands above the horizon.
This is home of the forever spring.
Yeah.
What do you guys?
Forever sunset.
What do you guys do?
Well, how much time has passed? Maybe like
A good 4 hours.
cool.
So that sun should have moved. It didn't.
Has anyone else noticed that the sun hasn't moved?
No.
I have. I didn't pay too much attention to it because we're underground. I feel like that's probably not the real sun.
Probably right. Let's investigate.
We're in a magic room, and it's outside, but it's inside.
All right.
It's outside, but it's inside. Let's check out that house.
Well, I have a crossbow.
Uh-huh.
It's a light crossbow.
All right.
Shoot
I
through one of the
wanna
windows.
Equip it.
Okay. Now, just to reiterate, I guess, the house is very far across the meadow. It must be 200 feet away.
That's fine.
You can tell it's huge, but it is a bit of a distance away.
He's gonna shoot the sun.
So what are you doing with your light crossbow?
I'm gonna fire at one of the windows of the house.
Okay.
Throw a Molotov through the window.
It's an interesting way of knocking.
21.
You hit it.
All right. 7 damage.
7 damage. All right. So you fire your light crossbow, and it arcs through the air, and your eyes are following as it glides over the 200 feet or so, and it hits one of the windows, and the bolt bounces right off the glass. You hear it make a very distinct, like loud clank sound that a arrowhead on glass would make, but
It's usually like a shattering sound.
you didn't hear a shatter. You
Okay.
hear like a loud dunk like
Okay.
that, and that's what happened.
Must have been a dull bolt.
Safety glass.
Yeah. They were ready for us. All right. I'm gonna re-equip my warhammer.
Okay. Anything else before you guys do? What else are you guys are you doing anything?
I'm
or-
gonna start cautiously heading towards the house with the intent to knock on the front door.
Anyone else following him?
A Thokk follows.
Are you gonna cast knock, or are you just gonna knock on the door?
I'm gonna physically knock on the door. Maybe from a distance I'll use Mage Hand to knock on the door.
Well, it's not the same thing.
Thokk will knock on the door. Thokk's not scared.
As you venture out into the meadow, you don't see anyone around. You hear the birds, but you don't see anything flying or foraging, And suddenly you hear a voice whispering to you. At first, it's too quiet to understand, but it keeps repeating itself and gets a little louder each time, and you hear it, and it says, "Why don't you come in? Why don't you come in?"
Ah, Professor X knows we're here.
As soon as you guys hear the whispering and are able to comprehend what it says, the space between the house and you shrinks incredibly fast, almost as if the house is just moving across the meadow straight at you. Roll a con save real quick.
Burn this thing to the ground.
Nat 20.
Pretty close.
9.
16.
Oh, it's just the same.
Thokk is scared.
Yeah, just a con save.
22.
Cool. So, Thokk, you
Don't understand
you
what's
get
happening.
spooked and you kind of stumble and fall on your butt because that's very surprising.
Yeah. Moving
The house-
houses is surprising.
The house stops right in front of all of you. Now that you're close to the house, the front doors are enormous. It's like a double door situation. They're 10 feet wide, 20 feet tall, and they're kind of set back into the front of the building itself. And there's like a little stairway leading up to them. And it's like a little front porch deal. The whole building's made out of stone, and the doors themselves are made of dark wood with black iron handles, and centered on each door is a plaque in the shape of the hand with the 8-pointed star. You hear the whisper again, "Why don't you come in?" And the front door creaks open just a little bit, and you can see inside, and all there is inside is just blackness.
Burn it. Burn it with fire.
I mean, it's a pretty nice house. Seems like a shame.
Nope. Burn it. I don't like this. Burn it all.
I'm gonna knock on the other door that didn't open. Mm-hmm. Anybody home?
You all hear the whisper again. "Why don't you come in?"
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and walk in.
Are you guys gonna follow him in?
I want to attempt to kick the door in front of him, like not just whichever one creaked open first.
Okay, so the door, you kick it, and the door swings open all the way. So now you can see clearly through the doorway, and it's almost as if there's nothing inside at all. It is just black. It's not that it's dark inside. It's almost as if right where the doorway is, it is a wall of blackness.
The void.
I've seen this before. I think we'll be all right.
I haven't, and that's terrifying.
I want to light a torch and throw it through the open door into the darkness.
What do you do with the cub you're holding?
It's still on my back.
Is it?
Yes.
Still struggling around.
You said you took it and you were holding
had
it.
in your hands before.
What? I'm tired. All right. I assumed that you guys would understand after the break. I'd probably put it back on my back because I'm not going to keep carrying it in my hands while we're going towards the creepy house.
Okay.
Okay, so you're throwing a torch through the doorway?
Yes.
You throw the torch in, and at the moment it passes through the doorway, it just disappears into the blackness. It was just absorbed through that surface that seems to be right there.
Just for fun, can I roll an Arcana check to see if I know what's going on?
Sure.
Hopefully that wasn't the named torch.
It's going to be 14.
14.
All of them are named.
So-
Fuck, all of them are named.
You kind of see what's going on here, and you know that going inside of this house is certainly a terrible idea, but you can't really tell what type of magic is happening here.
But there's like nothing else around. Just a big open meadow.
Yeah, and this house.
Yeah, I'm going to go in.
The moment you try to enter the doorway, all of a sudden the blackness just comes pouring out of the front door of the house, and it coats you and it coats your party. Roll a dex save. Everyone except you roll a dex save.
I got a nat 20.
6.
Does she have to roll for the cub?
No, it's attached to her.
19.
Thokk rolled a 6.
6.
Thokk failed that one.
All right. Cinder and Thokk, you both Cinder gets completely covered by this black oily ooze, and Thokk, it like splashes all over your like legs and waist, and it spreads out and creates this huge pool around you, and it seems to harden, and you're stuck. You two, Magnar and Tiny, you were able to dodge out of the way, so you're not standing in the puddle, you're not rooted or anything like that. The black ooze, it hardens and it forms like this smooth black puddle all around you. Yeah?
Can I make a history check? I want to see if this is the same black ooze from the beginning.
Yes, go ahead and roll that.
21?
Yes, you recognize this black substance as the same oily black stuff that you've been encountering since the grizzly bear cave, that man dying and then the two guards. It's the same exact stuff. just then, you hear the whisper again, and it says, "It has been spoken. It becomes real." And just as you hear those words, a black pillar begins to grow upward out of this puddle of black ooze, and it starts growing, gets to about 6 feet tall, and it kind of widens out into a humanoid shape, and then it kind of drops away, revealing a green skin, half dragon, half elf, clad in dark gray robes, and his eyes are shifting between each of you, shimmering in the synthetic magical sunlight. And he looks at each of you, and you recognize his voice as the whisper that you've been hearing for the last few minutes. And he says, "Ah, more murder hobos. I knew you'd show up eventually." As he's speaking, more figures are climbing up out of the ooze, and they're all gray-cloaked people of different races carrying all sorts of weapons. They appear to be regular people, and they all, after they kind of brush themselves off and get themselves situated standing on top of the black puddle, they all turn to face you. Then the green half-dragon whispers, "Take them down to the pits and begin the ritual." Immediately the meadow goes black, and you sink into the ooze where your vision goes black. When your eyes adjust, you seem to be in a cavern underground. There's an altar with an orb of orange light hovering over it, and the half-dragon is there waiting for you. You're no longer rooted in the ooze, but the ooze has changed forms, and it's now a cage surrounding you. The cavern is immense, and only illuminated by the orange glow of the orb. The half-dragon has his back turned to you now, and he's muttering incantations to the orb. He knows you're there in the cage behind him, but as far as you can see, you and the half-dragon are the only people in this cavern.
I'd like to look at the cage and see if there's a place that a key might fit.
You look around, and you don't see a door or a lock. You do see that the black ooze is hardened, and it feels like it's hard as steel to you.
So, was it just these two that got swallowed up, or did the whole party?
That's a good question.
Can I perceive to see what's around me?
Yeah, go ahead and roll a perception. Did you guys? Oh, here's a question for you guys that were able to avoid the ooze. Did you follow them down through the ooze when you saw them sinking in?
No.
No, you stayed up in the meadow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna follow them down. I got a 23 for perception.
Okay. You're there in the space that was the meadow, but it's covered in immense darkness, and you cannot see. It's magic darkness. If you have dark vision, you still can't see. It's like you're blindfolded right now. You can feel the ground sliding around and shifting underneath you. And when that happens, it seems like a small doorway opens nearby, maybe about 30 feet away. And you see a dim orange light emanating from it. And what you see in the cavern, you're not in the cage, Magnar. No. You're behind the cage. But you see the half-dragon standing with his back turned to the cage, staring at the orange orb, and he's muttering incantations. You can't really make out what he's saying. But as he's muttering them, the orb seems to pulse and grow with intensity of light.
Can I do anything to react? Or are you going to explain everything?
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Okay.
If right now you're just kind of hidden, laying in wait. Cinder looked around to see if there was a keyhole or a door. Doesn't appear to be one. And you are on the surface
Yes.
of the meadow,
Yes.
which is all blackness now.
Yes.
You felt the ground shift underneath you, and what looks like a doorway to you with a dim orange light coming out of it.
Yeah. I'm gonna draw my bow and cautiously approach it and look inside and see if I can see anything.
So you see a stairway leading downwards, and you hear some muttering, some very faint, just mumbling in the distance.
Okay, I'm gonna start sneaking very quietly down the stairs with my bow and arrow drawn. My bow drawn and my arrow knocked. Readying it just in case I need a fire. And I'm gonna creep down the stairs and keep a lookout for anything and try to figure out where that muttering's coming from.
Great. As you come down the stairway, you also enter into the same cavern. You see Cinder and Thokk in the cage. You don't see Magnar hidden, but you do see that orange orb pulsing with orange light and the half-dragon focused very intensely on that orb, muttering. He doesn't notice you're there. Yeah, so there you go. Now we're all kind of in the same spot. What do you guys want to do?
I want to cast a spell.
All right, what do you got?
How far away from the cage is the dragon-looking creature and the orb?
So this cavern is huge. All right, this cavern is like 150 feet long and 120 feet wide. The ceilings are 40 feet high. It is a huge. It's like an underground giant space. I don't even know how it could have formed. Probably magic.
Now I ain't gotta explain shit.
He's about 70 feet away at the altar. The altar's kind of centered in the room. And
70. That's unfortunate for me. All right, then I don't want to cast a spell. But
roll an intelligence.
sure. I'm thinking for a way to try and get out of this cage. Intelligence. It's going to be 17.
You're in the cage. You have an idea. While there isn't a distinct keyhole or door or anything like that, you do have a silver key with a glowing red gem in it. So you're like, maybe it's magical.
I'm hoping that this key in my pouch is capable of opening not just a specific door, but maybe like a skeleton key to magical doors. And I'm going to draw it out and press it against the cage.
Great. As you do that, the cage actually forms a keyhole around the key.
This thing is going to come in handy. I'm going to put it in the hole and turn it.
Great. As you do that, the glowing red gem in it turns black and falls out. The door opens, and you are now out of the cage.
I'm going to pick up that thing, hoping I can fix it later. And I'm going to try and stealth a little closer. I'll roll for stealth. Not great. Hopefully he's not paying too much attention to the noise because he thinks I'm locked up. 8. Oh, I'm going to put the key away as I stealth forward.
You are stealthed.
Excellent. And I want to roll an Arcana to see if I know what the hell's going on with that orb. 13.
So the orange orb, you know, is some kind of summoning device.
All right.
And you know that this type of summoning spell requires live sacrifices.
Then I want to cast a spell. Now that I'm a little closer, I want to cast Shatter on the... How far is the orb from him?
He's directly in front of it.
Perfect.
He's a foot away
Right on him, so that it's going to hit both him and the orb. Actually, anything within a 10-foot radius, if there's anything hiding around there. And it's going to do... He's going to make a dex save. It's going to be 12 damage to anything within that 10-foot sphere. 12 thunder damage. If he saves, it'll do half as much damage.
Well, he certainly didn't save. It was a critical fail, actually.
He had his back to you.
Well,
He didn't know you were casting a spell.
Right, so 12 thunder damage.
yes.
Great. So you cast your spell, and he takes 12 thunder damage, and it really knocks the shit right out of him. Like, real bad.
Speaking of which, how long can that cub hold it for?
It's a good question. Well, I don't think it's eaten anything, so it probably hasn't pooped or anything. Come on. Don't give me that look, Tiny.
All right. Can I cast a spell?
Yes, so I guess a surprise round, you guys, if you guys are going to start doing this. So
Yeah.
let's go ahead and do a surprise round.
All right. I'm gonna cast magic missile
Okay?
at the glowing orb directly.
Okay.
See if I can try to disrupt it.
Sure. Oh, actually,
It would have taken the thunder damage also.
yeah, it would have taken thunder damage. You've interrupted his incantations, and now that he's not muttering his incantations, the orb isn't growing in intensity anymore. It's just kind of sitting there, maybe even dimming just ever so slightly.
All right. I'm gonna aim 2 of the missiles at his face and 1 at the orb. So the two at his face are going to be 5 and 8 altogether. And then the one at the orb is going to be 4.
5 and 8.
No, it's not 5 and 8. It's 8 altogether.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry. That was my bad. So it's 8 at him and 4 at the orb.
Okay. The missile that hits the orb, it seems to penetrate into the orb, but it doesn't leave a mark or anything like that. But the orb does seems to fade a bit more. And the 2 missiles that hit the half dragon in the face, they just smack him real hard right in the side of his head. And he looks a little dazed. He's starting to realize what's going on here. He's not really keen on it. Tiny, why don't you go ahead and make a surprise attack from your hidden doorway?
Do I have advantage?
Yeah, he doesn't really know you're there.
16 hit.
16 does hit.
8 piercing.
8 piercing damage. So you shoot your arrow from your little hidey hole, flies through the air. Where were you aiming on him?
I was just gonna go for like a
Flies through the
general
air and
headshot.
gets him right in the head. You pierce his
General
nose.
headshot.
General headshot.
Thokk, why
Uh,
don't you take your turn on the surprise round here?
Thokk is going to take a second and gather his wits. There was a moving house and some black stuff and sunk through the ground, and now we're in a cave. And
Is
he's
Thokk
going to
still in the
look
cage?
around.
He's in the cage.
He's in
yes.
the cage, yeah.
Okay.
He's going to look around, and now that we're on solid ground, he's going to get ready for battle. But he takes all of this turn just getting ready for battle.
You
Going to
get
assess the situation, see
Cool.
where my players are.
You get an inspiration point. Okay, let's roll for initiative.
Thokk got an 8.
Thokk is 8. This guy got an 11. Cinder?
With modifier, it's going to be 20.
Magnar?
12.
Again?
Yep.
Tiny?
10.
10.
The only
okay.
bad rolls I get are on initiative. It's the boo boo.
Yeah, Thokk's rolls have been, all of his initiative rolls have been low, under 10.
Yep.
We got the order. Cinder, Magnar, Half Dragon, Tiny, and Thokk. Cinder, go ahead.
I'm going to cast a spell. I'm going to cast Chromatic Orb. So I'm going to draw my diamond out.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to create an orb of, let's say, a radiant orb. And I'm going to chuck that his way. And then I'm going to use 2 spell points to do that as a bonus action with a Quicken spell. So after I cast it, there will be a second one as a follow-up of the same.
Mm-hmm.
So there's going to be 2 orbs coming at him. And he's going to make a dex save for each.
15 for one and a 6 for the other.
Okay, he's going to fail both against my spell save.
Mm-hmm.
And so a ball of white, almost holy light, is going to form about the size of, say, a basketball.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just going to fly across at him. The first one's going to deal
Spirit Bomb!
15 damage.
15 damage.
And the second one's going to be a little less impressive, dealing 7 damage.
So total of
22.
So that happens. Those 2 basketball-sized light orbs fly across the room, smack him. This guy still doesn't even know what's going on. You guys are making mush with this guy. And it is now Magnar's turn.
I want to cast Guiding Bolt
Mm-hmm.
and do it directly at the orange orb.
Okay. That does damage and then makes it glow, right?
Yes. 16. Is that a hit?
Yes.
Sweet. Gonna be 17 radiant damage.
Okay.
And then if anyone attacks it, they have advantage for the next turn. How's it looking now?
It is dimmer now. You said 16 damage?
Yep.
It keeps getting dimmer. It's still pretty bright though, but it is certainly dimmer. The surface of it is pristine. It doesn't. It's almost like this. It isn't like a material object. Your attacks, your magic attacks, seem to just go into it, and then it dims.
Mm-hmm.
But there's not like a glass surface. It's not like a crystal ball or anything that would crack or anything like that.
Shit. I knew that. I would have just been attacking the other guy.
Now you do. Hey, you know there's a dragon that's sacrificing people up there, right?
He hasn't sacrificed anyone yet.
Oh yeah, I know that.
It is the half dragon's turn, and he's going to go ahead. He's going to cast Shield on himself, and that will raise his AC
For a turn.
for a turn. Yeah, and I also take no. He'll also take no damage from magic missile
To his dick.
to any part of him that's shielded. So he does that, and he says, "You're much craftier than I expected you to be."
I'm gonna call back to the group and say, this guy's been murdering our friends in the league. You know, because they don't know why I just tried to kill this guy.
Well, let's try and kill him then.
Now they do.
Well, yeah, I mean, I saw this. I've been watching, been paying attention. I can see. We're both within 50 feet of each other,
Well,
at least.
yeah, but you didn't have the same rolls for Arcana and knowledge.
That's
so
true. I didn't
I'm
even
sharing
try, though.
it.
I didn't have to.
It's inherent.
I'm so knowledgeable with Arcana that I just know.
Yeah, we listen to the DM.
It's a hell of a modifier you got for that.
Tiny?
Arcana domain cleric. I studied this my whole life. This has been my entire life.
Yeah, but sometimes you forget, and then you end up hitting yourself in the face.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna take another shot with my bow and arrow.
Okay.
Oh, I thought we were drinking again.
Ooh.
We can
After 11.
Well, with his increased AC from his shield casting on himself, that will bounce off of his shield that he has now. Wah, wah. Thokk, your turn.
I am going to realize what's happening, and I'm going to enrage. And when I enrage, I'm going to rip my tunic off, the little hooded cape thing. Just rip it off. And I'm going to run up to him, and I'm going to attack him with advantage. And I'm going to use my feature for advantage. So it might or might not proc wild magic. I get a crit on him, and then I'm going to roll for the wild magic. It's an 8. Doesn't happen. So the damage is 24 damage with the axe.
24 damage. Jeez.
No, it's 24 with it doubled. It's a 12 with it doubled 24.
Yeah.
All right.
Ow!
So you
Great
do
axe
all that.
to his face hole.
Smack him hard. Ugh. It's just, I feel bad for this guy now. Jeez.
Well, you shouldn't have messed with the league.
Yeah.
You guys
That's what happens.
greatly underestimated you guys' strength.
Now
We've
don't
been
have-
sandbagging.
Yeah.
I guess so. Cinder, it's your turn again. Jeez.
I'm going to give him a quick chance to surrender or die. I'm going to yell out to him, surrender or die. Surrender or die!
He looks up at you, and his eyes go wide, and all he can say is, "It has been spoken.
Hold
It
on,
becomes
hold on."
real." Huh?
I want to stop him in between there.
Oh, yeah?
No, I'm still casting my spell. I was just yelling that before I, let loose. You got something you can do in the meantime?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna distract him before he says the second half.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell him a long diatribe about my whole life.
Okay.
As I'm doing that, he continues to cast his spell. So let me tell you something, mister.
And
I've been through a lot.
I'm going to do the same thing I did last time, only this time I'm going to mix it up, and I'm going to throw first a necrotic orb, and second, a fire orb.
I've been through a lot. And I don't appreciate this
Oh,
kind
and
of...
he's going to have to roll dex saves on those.
Nat
Malarkey.
20.
And then the second one.
Also a nat 20. I don't know how that just happened, but that just happened. I think we should all take a shot. That was amazing.
Well, my orbs let loose.
Where were these? Hours ago. Fucking dice. Jeez. All right. So both orbs just kind of whiz by him. Fucking fly off to the other side of the cavern before they vanish.
Didn't your dad ever play catch with you?
He did. He was a lovely man. Still is. I guess that booze finally got to me. That's all I got.
Magnar, you still talking?
Well, not anymore. Clearly, it didn't help.
It's your turn.
You distracted our mage.
All right, so does he still have the shield up?
It's not his turn again, so yes.
Ah, fuck. I want to ready an action.
Okay.
Guiding bolt as soon as that shield goes down.
Okay.
All right, it's my turn.
All right. So it's his turn. The shield dissipates.
All right, guiding bolt.
Cast guiding bolt.
It's gonna be 25 for hit.
It hits.
All right.
I don't know why he waited. That it hit either way.
It's gonna be 15 altogether.
15.
Radiant damage.
Radiant damage, and now he's kind of glowing.
And now everything that hits him has advantage.
Sure does. So he's gonna go ahead and take this turn to cast.
He's gonna cast Get Good on himself.
He's all shimmery and light.
I got advantage either way. I got like ×3 advantage.
Good.
I've been raged and I got advantage and like I hit him in the back.
I'm just glad I'm helping.
He takes this turn to cast Confusion on Thokk. Well, you're closest to him,
Melee range.
and then you two are like next to each other, but like 60 feet away or something.
Yeah.
That she's off. Okay. So yeah, he casts Confusion on Thokk, and you got to succeed on a Wisdom saving throw
Ooh.
or be affected.
18. Does 18 save?
It saves.
Should I use that inspiration point to reroll that? Get confused?
All right. Well, he tries to cast Confuse on you.
Stop trying to be dumber than you are.
You could have used it to maybe reroll one of those nat 20s.
No. Could have used it to roll that 8 and do something higher.
Great. Well, that was his shitty turn. Tiny, it's your turn.
Pew pew. 13.
For hit?
Yes.
You hit him.
Does shield proc again? Does
Nope.
he have another spell slot?
I mean, he does have plenty of spell slots. It's just he can only cast one thing at a time, I guess.
7 piercing.
Great. You shoot an arrow at him. Where do you shoot him?
I'm going
part
for
of
the
his-
head again.
What part of his body? You shoot him in the head?
Yeah.
Like
my favorite part.
What part of the head? Be specific.
Shield could
Should-
be used as a bonus action after as an
As a
attack
reaction.
happens.
Or
As a
can-
reaction,
Yeah.
as an attack happens.
I'm aiming
So if
for
he
his.
has another spell slot and she hits him, he can proc again.
Thanks for the tip.
Hey, John.
I don't think it'll
I mean,
be worth
Thokk.
it.
Who the fuck's team are you
I'm
on?
aiming for his nose.
His nose. Great. It shoots right into his nose hole. It hurts a lot. He starts bleeding out of his head all over the place. And then he dies. Then he dissolves into black oil and fucking fades away.
Is there anything left on the ground?
Oh, let me see. What did I write here?
You want me to pick those papers up you threw?
No, it's not on there.
Okay.
It's on over here. Okay. So he falls down and he dies. Dissolves into black oil himself. The glowing orb starts to flicker and flash and fades to darkness and just kind of fades out of existence. And it leaves behind a mark on the altar in front of you. The cave fills with the murmurs of 1,000 voices saying that same phrase. It has been spoken, it becomes real. But it's 1,000 voices, male, female, all different ages and races. It's super creepy, guys.
All the people that were sacrificed.
Yeah, that sounds like a cult.
Terrifying, yeah.
And then all the voices kind of fade away. And that's where you guys are right now. You guys are in the cave. There's a mark on the altar.
I'd like to inspect the altar.
Great. So there, you see, when you get close to the altar, you realize that the altar has a space that would fit perfectly into that grizzly amulet that you have.
You should use that grizzly amulet in that space.
I don't know. Last time I used one, it didn't work out so well for us.
Well, what's the worst that could happen?
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and place the grizzly amulet into the circular facet.
Great. Once you do that, a similar thing happens with than that happened with the first amulet. A little spark, a little snapping, electric popping sound happens, and the altar begins to emit a light humming noise, and a white light fills the room, starting with the altar there, and you're all blinded temporarily. When your sight comes back, you are back at the grizzly bear cave that you first came through when you first started up this mountain.
Awesome. How did we get here?
Yeah, I don't know. It was weird.
Well, did you use that amulet?
I
Like
did.
I told you?
I did.
All right. Well, then we must have done something right. Is everyone okay? Does anyone need healing?
Nope.
I'm doing all right, actually.
Doing good.
I'm feeling pretty good.
Boy, I feel useful. I'm
Man.
doing great. You guys are all still alive. This is going way better than the last time.
I'm gonna go ahead and retrieve the amulet from the altar.
You're not there. The altar's not there.
Oh, they
we're
robbed
in the
me of my
cave.
amulet. I was hoping the altar came with us. I'd look around for it.
Why would
Don't see it.
wasn't there the first time?
Well, we weren't here the first time either.
Yeah, we were. That's how we know where we are now.
The bear on Tiny's back is happy to be home. It seems to want to be put down on the ground.
It's probably starving. We've been gone for like days.
Because, you know, it's a wild animal and all. Probably wants to walk around a little bit sometimes.
Stretch its legs.
Yeah, I'll
maybe.
put him down on the ground.
Cool. He just wanders around in the cave.
An arrow flies from nowhere.
I'd like to set the bear on fire. I don't really. I'm kidding. Although I am getting hungry.
Bear meat sounds pretty good right now.
I'll stab you both.
Yeah, you can try.
I'll do it.
Really?
I
You can try, like I said. Go for it. I'm not gonna stop you, but if it
really
comes down to
stabbed the
eating one
shit
of
out of
us,
that ranger
who's
earlier.
gonna get eaten first? The tiny dwarf or the 6-foot minotaur?
I don't know. It's helping your case. Except the minotaur won't eat you because.
I can heal the party. Can the minotaur do that?
Nope, but I can hurl you pretty far.
You can try.
While you guys are celebrating your hard-earned victory,
Ooh, good call. I'm gonna pour myself some more wine. Fine wine. I still got a little bit in that keg. Anybody else want some?
Dirty
Nope.
mongrel.
It's never too late to start.
I'm good.
you hear a familiar
Sundown
voice
somewhere.
approaching from the bottom of the mountain. You just hear someone yelling, "Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Are you guys here?
Yeah.
Are you hobos out here?"
Yeah, we are.
And you recognize the voice of the cart driver that took you out here initially. He's been looking for you.
Are his donkeys still alive?
His donkeys are still alive.
Good.
Yes. So he finds you. You know, he's been following the trail, and he finds you guys since you called out to him. And you know, and he says, "So you're done with the shite on those mountains?"
What?
I'm pretty sure. Yes.
Maybe? Can't say for sure.
We handled it.
There's the other path. We have
We
yet to
handled-
explore that one.
All the shite
mean-
on the mountain.
There's a second path that split originally. We went up the right one, but there's one that went to the left.
Yeah, we went up the right one. Why would we want to go back up the wrong one?
Who says it's the wrong one?
One has to be right.
Let's
He-
do some more exploring.
He then says, "If you're done, up in the cart, and I'll have you all back to Halavera."
I'm not sure what you just said, but I trust you. I get back on the cart.
We still haven't found our friends.
Yeah, we'll find them later. They'll turn up. I mean,
We should probably check Moss Tavern. I think they're there. There a lot of shit went down there. I think we just didn't look hard enough.
So you're going back to Halavera?
Yeah, I'm gonna get in the car.
for now, if
now.
he's willing to take us.
Yeah, he's ready to take you guys back. All right, cool. So your trip back to Halavera is pleasant. You arrive back through the north path, and there's the usual hustle and bustle that's always going on in the town center. The lieutenant sees you, and he calls you over. He beckons you over, and asks you, "Did you find out what was going out there in the mountains?"
I'm gonna give him one finger. Hold on,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm gonna scurry the party into Moss Tavern.
I will follow him.
For a drink. Hold on, Captain. We'll be back here in a minute. Gotta go celebrate.
He's just standing there with his hand out as he watches you cross the town square and walk into Ma's Tavern.
I'm not going into Moss Tavern.
No, Magnar, this is what we do.
Well, I don't drink. I've never drinking. I'm not starting yet.
They have food.
We have a job to do. I'm gonna go talk to the lieutenant. I'll catch up with you guys and that food later.
Okay, so why don't we handle that first? So he asked you, "Hey, Magnar,
Yes.
did you find out what's going out in those mountains?"
A lot of really weird stuff that I'm not 100% sure happened. There was mountains at one point, and then there was a cave. There was a house that seemed to move around a lot. There's a lot of darkness. We killed a few people. Should probably go pray for a little bit. My deity, not really big on prayer, but just in case.
He says, "Oh, okay, that's kind of strange. I look forward to reading your official report."
Has any of their old party members shown up by chance?
I haven't really been looking too hard. I have a lot of stuff going on around here. It's not, hobos go missing all the time. It happens. They're hobos.
Fair enough. Okay. Well,
All right,
yeah,
so-
that's pretty much what happened.
Cool. I got a lot of work to do. Thanks for coming back alive. The rest of your party's alive, right?
Oh yeah, no, I made sure.
Good job this time.
That's not happening again.
All right. He wanders off back into the hustle and bustle, and you're left there in the square. Do you go to Maz, meet your party up?
Yeah, I'll go to Moss.
Cool. So you guys are in Maz. Maz is always hopping, as usual. You guys, I assume, have already had like 5 drinks in the 20 seconds that you've been in there.
And at least a plate of food.
Yeah, and you're stuffing your faces, of course, rewarding yourselves gratuitously for a job well done.
Is Rupert working today?
The larger man is slowly becoming fond of you and your constant renaming of him. But he looks at you when you call him Rupert, and he just shakes his head, no.
I will not find your name yet.
I'll keep trying. Ma's in there, she's having a good time, just kind of waddling around, checking up on everyone, being a good host. And there's a band playing some music in the background.
What kind of music?
Folk music.
All right,
Can
I can get behind this.
I order some drinks for the band?
Sure. Order some drinks for the band.
All right.
That'll be there's 3 members in the band, so that'll be 6 silver. What kind of drinks actually?
Just cheap ale.
2 silver. Yeah, the drinks go up to the bar. The large man brings them there. The band members are just kind of happy to get anything for free. As you guys are enjoying yourself, guess what happens? In walks Osrose. Out of nowhere, he walks in. He doesn't even see you guys because there's so much going on. And he sits down at the bar and he orders a drink from the large man. And he's just sitting there drinking.
I'd like to call to his attention.
Yeah, Thokk will walk up to him.
Osrose! Osrose, where you been? We got your staff.
We don't have your staff. None of us picked it up.
I thought we
gone
did, so
in the
I'm gonna
snow.
tell him that anyways.
Osrose puts down his drink for a moment and he looks over and he's surprised and he says, Why'd you guys leave me behind?
We had a
I've
mission.
been here.
We looked for you. We couldn't find you.
We had a lot of people looking for you. You must be Osrose, I'm guessing.
I'm Osrose. Who are
this
you?
is-
Did they replace me already?
No. This is
No.
Magnar. He's filling in for Farley.
My name is Magnar.
Hey,
I'm
Magnar.
filling in for Farley.
Cool.
Apparently, I have a handler
He's
again,
not
and he
as
just
much
talks for
fun.
me.
He won't drink with us.
Yeah, I don't drink.
To each his own, I guess. Whatever. You do eat food, right?
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. At least he's got that going for him.
While they're talking, I would like to take one of the drinks at the bar and cast Minor Illusion to make it look like water, and then offer it to Magnar.
Cast Detect Magic.
You just do that all the time?
Yeah, I do. I'm not trusting you yet.
Well, this is
I
gonna
know
build
what kind of place
trust.
this is. Whose fault is that?
He's gonna watch him cast.
It's gonna be behind him. He doesn't know.
No, it's
On
not
the
behind me.
pier.
We're all looking in the same direction.
It's a bar. I said I walk behind you and grab a drink. Cast Minor Illusion.
All right, then I cast Detect Magic. I'm not just gonna take a random drink from some stranger.
Could have roofies in
Oh, a drink just shows up in front of me. It must be great. I'll just drink it.
And
That's
it's
how
water.
people get raped.
it. And it's water.
Ew, but he's gonna rape you. Don't worry about that.
Actually,
Anyway.
Mordecai didn't do much drinking either. No one noticed, but Mordecai didn't drink.
Is he around anywhere? We're missing him still.
Yeah, who's Mordecai?
Osbros, have you seen Mordecai?
You know, I thought I saw him earlier, but then he left. I don't know where he is now.
He probably had some bad food.
Probably just went home.
Does he have a home?
I don't know.
I mean,
we're all hobos. I don't
yeah.
think so.
That's weird. And yeah, and then this conversation just kind of continues on into the night. The end.
Woo!
Woo!
We did it.
Next time on the League of Extraordinary Murder Hobos. Celebrating their survival of the Thundering Highlands, the hobos drink until they pass out. But what awaits them when they awake? A hangover? A new mission? A new villain? Probably all three. Find out next time. Same hobo time, same hobo channel.